Hello, everyone! Welcome to another episode of Friday Conversations, where we feature investing, personal finance, money matters, and basically anything that revolves around the investment and financial world. I am Therese ang Angko. I am an investment analyst at ATRAM, and I'll be your host this evening. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your Friday night to be here with us. So hello to everyone watching on YouTube, Facebook. I'm so excited to have you here. Who else is here? Hi, Robert. Hi, Juan Carlos Lanuza. Who else is here? If you could put your location, your name and what you're excited to learn about, I'd love to see them all on your comments below, and I'll read them out right here. So hi, Mara. Hi, Kathleen. So many of you. I'm so excited to have you here tonight. Uh, and thank you again to everyone who watched our episode last month with Zara. But before anything else, I'd like to greet all the women here with us tonight. A happy International Women's Month. Here at ATRAM, we value and celebrate the uniqueness and strength of each one of you. So comment your favorite emoji below, or my favorite is this emoji. Um, I'd love to hear all about what's most important to you as a woman, and in investing especially, right? Investing can be really confusing, super overwhelming. I know I had the toughest time when I started out, but when you know which investment to focus on, the process becomes so much easier. And we have invited for all of you a very special speaker, an expert to discuss and share with us her knowledge about funds investing. And I'm pretty sure you guys know her already, or else you wouldn't be here. Ooh, I see someone put money heart. Yes, girl. Before that, I'd like to give a shout out to the ATRAM Seedbox community, G Invest community, and to the financial literacy communities. And stay tuned as well, because we are giving away limited edition ATRAM merchandise and Seedbox credits. That's what I'm most excited for. I love Seedbox credits. Yeah, so many prizes. You can win so many. So stay tuned, as we'll be giving away these prizes at any point of our program. So one of the ways to win is to scan their QR code below. Ooh, I saw someone from Bicol. Hi. So you can click the link on the pinned comment in the comment section below to earn a raffle entry, and winners will be posted on our Viber community page, #AtramPH community. So don't forget to join that, or else you won't know if you won. Okay. Hi, Cara. Hi, Hazel. So our next three lucky sharers tonight will also win an Atram merchandise. So what are you waiting for, right? Share our live stream with the hashtag Atram Convo, and you might be one of the lucky winners tonight. So we'll also be having a trivia game later. Yes, my quiz about what we're learning today. So sit back, watch, and learn. It'll be really exciting. Um, Yes, you can add your questions below. You can just comment. Hi, JJ. I'm Jay, fourth year BVSA marketing. Wow, yes. B Go invest. But before all of that, um, we have a very special guest tonight. That's why you're all here, right? So at such a young age, she's already a multi-awarded financial advisor, associate financial planner, and founder of Money Health Check on TikTok. I love that. She has an advocacy of changing the financial landscape in the Philippines through proper financial planning. This is so important, and I'm so excited to have her here today. Without further ado, let's all welcome Antoinette Aquino.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Therese, ang cute mo. I like how my from the very beginning. Kala ko sa mag-start na eh. But
I
I see
know.
everyone sending money hearts, people from Bicol, people who are from college, university. Hello, Danica. Super happy that you're all tuned in tonight for our Friday conversation.
Yes, I love it. Oh my God, I'm so excited to have you here. How are you? Right, it's so great to have you back.
Right.
I guess this is the first time we've met, so first few times. So I guess main question is what has motivated you to start your financial literacy advocacy? I know we're both in the finance industry now, so
Right.
especially as a woman, it's really quite different, right? We don't have, I guess it's not like usual that people would see like two women in the financial industry, but here we are today. So I'm just wondering how you started it, because that's so important.
Gusto niyo yung non-showbiz answer?
Yes, honestly, it's the
Trauma.
best policy.
Trauma. And I don't mean to
Oh,
romanticize trauma or anything, because I know people deal with it in so many ways. But in my case, because I grew up in an environment filled with financial errors, as in, my family was buried in debt, and at the same time I had to work as a minor. So, for me, my response to trauma was to make sure that it doesn't happen ever again. So I told myself, if I understand what I know now about investing, about personal finance, I would want to teach it and want to simplify it to everyone. And that's why I'm grateful for ATRAM for giving me the platform, to be able to teach topics like this.
right. Yeah, that's so important.
Right.
And look at you now. You have like an amazing background behind you. It's really
You
incredible with
guys
what
get
you
my
do.
effort, guys.
Yes.
We want to look decent. We want to look clean in front of our viewers here tonight. So thank you to everyone for tuning in again.
Yes, I'm so excited to hear all about your presentation. So, let's start off with that one and how you started your journey. Because really it all starts with a single step, right?
Right.
So I want to hear all about that one.
All right. And I believe we also did mention earlier that there will be prizes. So please stay and scan the QR to join the raffle. That's one more thing. But again, let's get right into the topic. So, again, all of you here are here to learn about the basics of investing. But let me start off with a question. Okay. So, let's say, okay, so I saw someone is from Batangas here, and yung iba taga Bicol. Sabihin na natin nasa South ka, taga South ka. And you're planning to head to Makati. Which mode of transportation would you choose? Would you A, take a car? Diba sabi nga nila, kung matapang ka talaga, kaya mo mag-request ng full tank sagad. Diba? Yan na yung basehan ngayon. Or is it B, would you take a bus? Would you C, ride a bike? Or would you walk? So do let me know in the comment section, ano yung preferred mode of transportation nyo? Diba? Okay, so we're seeing in the comments, let me check them in a bit. So we have people saying that they prefer to take the car kasi private, kasi matapang. Okay. Yung iba, they would also prefer to take the bus. All right. So what if, okay, palitan natin yung destination. What if yung destination mo lang is pupunta ka lang sa tindahan? Okay, maybe it's just 200 meters away. Right? What would be your preferred mode of transportation, or how would you want to get there? Okay, let's take a look at the comment section. So we have people answering B. Okay, magbabas ka papuntang tindahan? Or is that for the first question? Okay, Robert said he would walk. Okay, so why exactly did I ask this question? So I asked this because this is actually one practical example of a very important concept in personal finance. And that is, personal finance is personal. Diba? So if you take a look at the answers, some people would say car because it's private, it's convenient, diba? Or some answer, they would take the bus or they would walk. Diba? They would take the bus or commute to save on transportation. So it's the same when it comes to investing or in saving in general. There's no one size fits all when it comes to investments, when it comes to savings strategy, 'di ba? And that's why, we see a lot of tips, we see a lot of recommendations online. Hindi, mag-invest ka dito, mag-invest ka diyan, 'di ba? But it cannot be just one single answer, because again, we all have different destinations, we all have different capabilities. Di naman lahat tayo marunong mag-drive, 'di ba? Or not all of us actually know how to commute, right? So it would depend on your capabilities and again, your level of knowledge. Okay, so that's why I would always say that, there are a lot of advice that you can see online, but the best financial advisor is ourselves. Okay, and speaking of our destination represents our goals. Diba? It represents our objectives, our financial objectives. And that's why it's called an investment vehicle, because it's a vehicle to take you to your goals. And ultimately, there are only two objectives to wealth building. Okay, so it's number one, to have a sustainable legacy. Diba? So you want to be able to leave something behind to your family. You want to be able to, or maybe on a bigger scale, you want to leave that impact or let that legacy to your world. The second objective would be to have fulfilled lives or to be able to achieve what we call freedom. And everyone's definition of freedom, of financial freedom, is different. But for others, it can be being able to work at the job that you love without worrying about money or makabili ng kotse, diba? For me, it's being able to order in a restaurant without looking at the price. Diba? Being able to add to cart without, really looking at the prices of the materials. Or for me, it's also about being able to book a ticket to Japan if my Lola wants to go there because she's never experienced snow. So I told myself, if I started working, if I was able to save enough, I want to take her to places that she's never been before. Wow, diba? So it's simply being able to have the freedom you want, to be able to live life on your own terms. Because, diba, sad reality is we don't live life on our own terms because we don't have the means for it. We don't have the money. Diba? And, to share my personal story, I've said this already in my previous talks, but, I became the breadwinner of the family at 17 years old. And when you're 17 years old, at that time, my mom is a high school graduate, um, and at the same time, my dad was. What happened was kasi his business went bankrupt, so it led us to a mouthful of debts, and at the same time, at 17, you're supposed to be worrying about grades. You're supposed to be worrying up about being heartbroken over your first boyfriend. Diba usually yung mga worries ng mga 17 years old. But, at that time, my worries were, okay, how do I make sure I get to pay all the bills on time? How do I ensure that we won't get evicted again? Because the sole earner of my family was my tita. But it stopped when she was diagnosed with a heart disease. So she had to stop working, and that left me and my cousin, which you see in this photo, to work for the family, to work to pay the bills. And kaya minsan talaga, whenever back then, whenever someone would say that money isn't everything, parang nagigil ako. Diba? Because for me, it cost me my adolescent years. It cost me the life of a loved one. So my tita wasn't able to survive because we couldn't afford to pay for her heart surgery. So that's why, at that time I started working, I started doing everything I can to be able to earn for the family. And reality is, yes, money is not the most important thing, but money does affect everything that is important to life. We earn money because we want to be able to pay for our basic needs, to be able to feed our family or to feed our children. But making it passively is freedom. Okay? And it all goes back again sa destination natin, sa mga goals natin. And that's why I used this analogy that an investor without investment objectives is like a traveler without a destination. So before you even think about investing, you have to think about why exactly are you starting it? About what is it for? Because it's going to drive you, it's going to be your fuel. And again, going back to our goals, the reason why I use this two analogy is because this actually represents two ways of investing. Okay? So the reason why I brought up the different modes of transportation is because the car represents what we call direct investing. Ibig sabihin nun, you're the driver of your own portfolio. You're directly managing, you're directly buying your stocks. And at the same time, this will also require you to monitor your portfolio, because you have control over the investment vehicle. Meanwhile, when you're indirectly investing, you have someone who is professionally managing your portfolio. Meaning to say, you are one among the many passengers in the vehicle. So your job is to trust the fund manager, it's to trust the driver, to take you to your destination using your capital. Diba? Using everyone's fare. Diba? The conductor would collect the fare to be able to bring you to your destination. So that's essentially how it works. Now, the thing about indirect investing, another way to call this is also being able to invest in what we call pooled funds. Okay. So going by definition, pooled funds refers to a set of money from individual investors combined or pooled together for investment purposes. Okay. So to explain how this process works, I have a visual here. Okay. So how exactly do pool funds work? First, you need investors. Okay, you need investors with capital. And these investor funds are pulled together and professionally managed into pooled funds. So there are different types of pooled funds that you can invest in. So there's what we call UITFs. We have what we call mutual funds or yung mga VUL. So these are the types of pooled funds. Now, as mentioned earlier, these pooled funds are professionally managed by what we call investment companies or by trust companies. Okay. So these investment and trust companies then invest the capital into what we call securities or funds. Okay, so later on, I'll be going deeper into the different types of funds available in the market. Okay, so for these funds, this will then generate either gains or losses, and which are then given back to the investors. So yan yung process of exactly how pooled funds work. Now, common question is, why would I want to put my money in a pooled fund? Well, again, there's the advantage of being able to leverage someone else's time and someone else's knowledge to be able to build your capital, to be able to build your wealth. Okay. Now, I mentioned earlier that there are also different types of pooled funds. Okay. So the thing about that is people tend to confuse UITFs and mutual funds because at the same time it's very there's kind of similar. They are similar, but they also differ in many ways. So the thing about this is also exactly what makes the other asset better than the other one. So we'll also tackle that. We'll tackle the similarities, the differences, and perhaps which is a better asset. Okay. So to name the difference between the two, mutual funds are basically offered by investment companies like ATRAM. And then UITFs are offered by banks. Another difference is who manages the fund. So for mutual funds, the fund managers are basically appointed by the investment company. And then for UITFs, the fund manager is the trust group of the bank or the trust professionals. Okay. Now, another difference to point out is the price. So a lot of you may be asking exactly, how do you make money from mutual funds? Right? Simple lang yan. It's through price appreciation or the increase in the value of NAV-PS or net asset value per share. So if let's say you're directly buying stocks, tawag doon is price per share. Diba? So same lang siya with mutual funds. Ang difference is mas mahaba. So for mutual funds, it's net asset value per share. So wag yun ang problemahin exactly how you compute yung NAV-PS or yung NAV-2. So just ask yourself, okay, what was the NAV-PS when you bought into the fund? So let's say pumasok ka sa isang mutual fund. And at that day, the NAV-PS was 1 peso. After a week, naging 3 pesos na siya. So ibig sabihin nun, kumita ka na. So that's the simplest way to explain exactly yung price appreciation. Now, for UITFs, the reason why it's called net asset value per unit is because you're buying into the units. Okay, and then for mutual funds, it's shares. Now, another thing that you also want to take note of are the fees. Okay, so for mutual funds, you pay for the entry fee and the exit fee and also the management fee. So yung mga management fees, basically we treat this as parang talent fee na ng fund manager. Okay. for being able to manage the portfolio. Now, for UITFs, normally you don't have to pay for the entry and the exit fees, but you do have to pay for their trust fees. Okay. You don't have to pay the fees anymore for the UITFs. Now, another difference is also who regulates the asset. So for mutual funds, it's regulated by the Security Exchange Commission. Okay? And then for UITFs, it's regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. All right. Now, the underlying assets of both of these assets includes fixed income, equities, or a combination of both. So both pooled funds can have these assets in their portfolio. Now, another difference also that I want to point out is the right to vote. Okay. So the thing about mutual funds is that you don't directly own shares of the companies. You own the shares of the fund. And when you have voting rights, you can also decide to vote on corporate elections, be it something related to directors. Ayun. So you get the voting rights for that. Meanwhile, for UITFs, you don't have the voting rights. Okay. Now, another thing is that with mutual funds, you can earn not only through price appreciation, but also through dividends. For UITFs, you can only earn through price appreciation. Okay. Another one is both of these funds are open-ended. Ang ibig sabihin lang nun is you can buy or sell them anytime. So there's the advantage of liquidity. Diba? Like compared to, let's say, if you were to buy a property, it is not as liquid as this because sometimes it would take a month or maybe a years to even sell a property or to be able to get your returns from it. And then another thing also that you want to know is exactly where can you acquire the mutual funds or UITFs. So for mutual funds, you can get them through brokerage firms or investment companies. For UITFs, you can get them through bank trust representatives or managers. Okay? And lastly, you want to also know kung may taxes nga ba dito. So for mutual funds, they are exempt from capital gains tax as per Republic Act 8424. So wala pong capital gains tax for this one. But for UITFs, it is subject to 6% capital gains tax. Okay, so kayo na pumili whichever is convenient for you, which suits whatever needs you have between the two. Now, before I get into the different types of funds available in the market, I'd like to invite Therese again on stage to be able to announce the different winners that we have. So I believe we have exciting prizes to give away our viewers. Go ahead.
Yes, oh my goodness. Let's see. I think this is the quick break we're having for the raffle. Ooh, yes. I know so many people from universities are here, so I'm so excited to hear from them. Kumusta na kayo sa online class? Oh my goodness. And a quick happy Women's Month again. It's really important for women to get into financial literacy as well. Okay. Ooh, I see the wheel spinning. Oh my goodness. Hello, Vilma. Hi, Ronalyn. A lot of you guys are from galing sa Universidad de Dagupan. Galing talaga ninyo. Oh my God. Okay, our first winner. Judith. Hi. Okay, you are our first winner. Okay, congratulations. Come on, at least. Nandito ka. Kasi you can take charge of your, financial freedom if you invest in it. And Carla, si Carla lang. I don't know your last name. Okay, good luck na lang, Carla. I hope we find your last name later on. Um, but now, Antonia, why don't you tell us more about all the funds? It's a lot to take in, for sure. I hope all of you are still okay, are still following us, but swear this is for your investment in yourself. So, yes.
Ang cute mo talaga, Feliz. Okay, sige. So congratulations again to the winners of the raffle. And again, let's get back to the topic. But first, I just want to check up on you guys. Okay pa ba kayo? Sana hindi pa kayo na nose bleed or anything like that. If you do have questions in the comment section or about anything that we're talking about, do let us know in the comment section. And also, thank you to everyone who's been actively typing their message and sending their greetings. So please type in a heart, mga. Give me some hearts to know if you guys are still okay, if you guys are still with me. Ayan, so tignan natin. So let's take a look at the comment section. Ayan. So hi Arnel, an accountancy student. Hi Michelle, Melody, Casey Law, thank you for joining us. Dicky Tan, hello, you're working out. Grabe, ang productive mo naman. Gusto ko yan. Yung tipong pwede ka mag-multitask. You can learn about finance and also work out. Hi Marielle, hi Kathleen, Bev, and Rain. Hello, good evening to all of you. Okay, still learning. I see you, Judith Ann. All right, Baby Led. Hello, hello. All right. So, hi, Angel. Let's get back to the topic then. Okay. So, let's tackle exactly how you can choose the right fund for me. Kasi, di ba, ang daming information online and it's so difficult to choose. Pagbukas mo lang ng G-Invest, di ba, there are a lot of different funds that you can choose from. At the same time, when you go to Seedbox, there are a list of funds and, it can get quite overwhelming. So, let's narrow it down and simplify it for all of you. Now, the first fund that we're going to tackle is what we call the ATRAM Corporate Bond Fund. Okay, so if you're not familiar with how corporate bonds work, corporate bonds are borrowings of corporations to help them finance their operations. So they borrow money so that they can scale their business, diba? So that they can expand or to take on business opportunities. So we like the diversification, we like the variety of this because many corporate bonds in a fund is actually a lot more efficient. It's a lot stronger than just owning a single corporate bond. Okay. So now you can already tell that, I mean, obvious naman, we're currently still struggling through the pandemic and, we've had an economic recession. But if we look at history, this is not the first time that we've had an economic recession. And if we look at history, you can see that we always bounce back. Diba? The economy always recovers. The thing about this one is that you get the opportunity to take part of this Philippine economic rebound story that we have. You can take advantage of our rebound without as much risk, okay, or without as much volatility from the equity market. So, if you're wondering, ano nga ba yung mga holdings ng fund? Okay, so you're familiar with them. Si SM Prime, NLEX, diba nababayad kayo ng toll? PLDT, Ayala Land. So, these are companies that you're familiar with. And the thing about this is that if you buy the corporate bond fund, you get exposure, diba? The opportunity here is that your daily expenses of paying the internet or paying the toll, these can be converted into income. Because when you have exposure to this fund, you have exposure to the companies that owe the fund. And when the companies pay interest to the fund, those interests will soon become part of investment earnings. So come to think of it, diba, you're spending, but at this parang may rebate, diba? You get to actually earn from your daily expenses. You get to convert your daily expenses into income, diba? And that's exactly what makes this a dividend-paying fund. 100% is invested in Philippine companies. Is that right? Yes, Jenny. Hello to all the university students watching. I'm super glad that you're making use of your time to learn about these things. Okay, so yun yung first corporate bond, the first mutual fund that I've tackled. Now next, let's go into the UITFs. Okay, now this fund is what we call the Global Allocation Feeder Fund. Okay, so this is actually the opportunity for you to invest in one of the largest multi-asset funding the world, right? So, di ba, syempre, when we hear of global investing, parang nai-intimidate tayo, no? Because at the same time, we don't know where to invest, we don't know how the global markets work, and it's very difficult, di ba? Sabi nga nila, don't invest in something you don't understand. So we tend to take it as a sign to be more conservative. And reality is, a lot of Filipinos also do not like taking a lot of risk. Diba? Pero pag mga relationships, pero pag sa date, ang risky nyo, no? Kahit sino-sino na lang. But when it comes to our own money, when it comes to our investments, we tend to be more on the conservative side. So, kailangan po, dapat may balance. Diba? So, this fund is basically, its objective is to be able to give you returns of global stocks, but with less risk. Okay. So it has also historically proven to provide more of the upside of the global stocks compared to the downside. So that's the advantage here. And if you take a look at it, you can also take a look at BlackRock's think tank. So these are basically the people who act as your global portfolio manager. Diba? So in other words, this fund acts as your personal global portfolio manager with an average location of 60% to equities and 40% to fixed income. Okay. So this is actually very suitable for people who are moderately aggressive, someone who is willing to lose in the short to medium term. Okay, so yan po yung risk appetite for this one. And at the same time, you also get exposure to global stocks, to bonds, cash equivalents, and currencies around the world. So if you want to take a look at the allocation of this fund, you get to see that it's diversified across different sectors, across different countries. So actually, this type of fund is perfect for those who are in their 40s. Okay? But I believe a lot of people right now are in their Gen Zs or are millennials. Tama ba? Age reveal naman dyan sa comment section. Okay, so as I was saying, this fund is perfect for those who are in their 40s, as only 40% is invested into fixed income. So usually, if you are younger, you can actually afford to be more aggressive. You can also afford to take on more risk in different funds. But as you get older, you want to be able to add more conservative global assets. So, perfect analogy for this. Okay, let's use the road again. Di ba pag nasa skyway tayo, pag medyo malayo pa tayo sa toll gate, we can go as fast as 80 kilometers per hour or siguro 100, parang illegal na yun, no? Siguro 80 kilometers per hour. But as you near towards the toll gate, kailangan medyo papreno ka na. Diba? You can't go as fast. So that's the same with investing. As you near towards your destination, kailangan mas chill ka na, diba? You have to slow down. Okay. That's a perfect analogy to describe that. So this is the portfolio positioning of the ATRAM Global Allocation Feeder Fund. Okay, so this is for those who want to grow their money but with less risk. Ayan. Next, okay, I just want to check on you guys again. I see people revealing the age. So we have people who are in their 30s. We have Rain, 41 years old. Hello, Krisha. Emoji yata yan. Heart. Oh, is that RJ? Hi, RJ. So he's 28 years old. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of people who are millennials, actually. And we also have a 19-year-old watching. Wow, okay. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Now, proceeding to this fund, this is called the Global Equity Opportunity Feeder Fund. Okay, so we live in a world where the economy is being influenced by these trends. Diba? For example, sa tech, right now, I know a lot of us are working from home. We're so dependent on our gadgets, on the internet, to be able to study, to be able to work. One thing also is yung teleconsultation. Diba? Imagine, hospitals were overflowing with patients. So not everyone could get, the medical needs, or not everyone could actually visit a doctor. So teleconsultation really helped us. We're also seeing a boom in e-commerce. So if you're working in e-commerce, do let us know. I know a lot of Gen Zs are now in that industry. Diba? Compared to the 1990s, diba? Technology wasn't advanced, and at the same time, there was also less women working. Diba? There was less female participation in the workforce. So, come 2030, okay, so the fast forward to 10 years from now, with all of these demographic changes, for sure, diba, we will have a demand in consumption. Okay. So these consumption or these demands would entail that we would need more food, diba? We would need more energy demands by then. It would definitely increase by 30 to 50%. And of course, if we are in demand, or if, let's say, we need to be able to produce more due to the growing population, this will emit more carbon emissions in the atmosphere, which will then result to global warming. Kaya ang init ngayon, di ba? Actually, we can already feel the effects of global warming on this day. Di ba? We're seeing there are intense heat waves, di ba? We're seeing drought. And when the typhoon happened also, this caused inflation in our economy. At the same time, we're also seeing a lot of animal disease, di ba, kung saan-saan na lang. Right? So if you take a look at it, this will not only impact our health, it's also going to impact our wealth. So this fund basically circles around these themes. So this is exactly invested in what we call the Allianz Thematic Fund. So it's a multi-thematic fund, which means it invests into the stories of tomorrow, today. So the fund invests into these themes, diba? So you see water and waste, health, tech, infrastructure. So it invests here to benefit most today. So for example, madaming themes ngayon and you don't know which theme to go for, then you let the fund decide for you. So the fund is definitely perfect for those who are aggressive, diba? Especially those who are young, those who are okay with short to medium term losses. And I would say dapat mahaba po yung time frame natin dito. So this is perfect for those whose goals are in line with retirement, diba? Kung ang goal mo is more of inheritance, so this could be a fund suitable for those goals. Okay? All right, good evening, LH. Hi, Ivy and Ronalyn. Okay. Ay, may bana tong si J Kayabyab. Yung ininvest mo, lahat-lahat sa kanya, tapos nung wala na kayo, di na nga binalik yung principal or feelings. Nangihingi pa ng interest. Okay ka lang ba, Jay? We can talk this out. Grabe naman yon. Well, totoo naman yan eh. The thing about relationship is kailangan may risk management tayo. Diba? Hindi yung all out tayo. Kailangan hindi mo sinasabi na you have to be skeptical, but you just have to learn how to take your risks. Diba? You have to know boundaries also. It's pretty similar. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next fund, which is what we call the ATRAM Philippines Sustainable Development and Growth Fund. So, okay, let me ask the comment section here. I mean, the viewers here tonight. What are some of the environmental friendly habits that you guys do on a daily basis? Okay. Walang plastikan ha, yung talagang ginagawa nyo on a daily basis. What do you do to build good habits that don't really negatively affect the environment? Diba? Kasi for me, I'm a coffee and milk tea addict. So much so that I named my pets latte and milk tea. So every day, pumunta ako sa coffee shop. And if and when I can, I use my reusable mug or I use my tumbler. And I think some cafes also give you discount. I think Starbucks also gives you discount for using a reusable tumbler or cup. Marco says he waters plants. Wow. Okay. Arvin, turn off the lights when not in use. Okay. Cyril says she also brings your own eco bag. Diba? So it's really good that you guys are practicing that, ha? Eco bags po for groceries. And you might question me on this, but these habits that we do to help the environment actually have very little impact. Parang minimal lang niya. And that's why I've always believed that businesses or corporations should be held responsible. They should be taking more action on this. Kasi they're the ones mass producing, diba? So, for me, sustainability in the business means protecting the well-being of our current customers and of our future customers. Tama ba? Diba? And that's exactly what this fund prioritizes. So this fund focuses on investing in Philippine companies that make a direct impact on the sustainable development and growth of the Philippine economy. Diba? So ATRAM actually evaluates these companies and see if they integrate all of these principles into their businesses. If they focus on wellness, diba? Progress and fairness. So these are the themes that ATRAM evaluates. So can you see the advantage here? It's like you also get to promote the sustainability of businesses. You get to encourage businesses to also take action, right? Sabi ni Sab, lessen the use of single-use plastics, switching to sustainable products, and bringing my own tumbler. That's great that we're trying to practice all of these habits. But again, for those who are managing businesses, switching to something like this, being more environmental friendly, actually has proven to give better returns in the long run. Because sustainable management is good management, diba? So this fund is perfect for those who are seeking sustainable growth in their money, diba? So this is definitely the kind of capital appreciation that you can trust, right? Okay, sabi ni Arvin, he discovered ATRAM through G-Invest. It's great that G-Invest is also providing platforms to allow people to invest even with a minimum capital. Diba? Okay, now let's go to the last fund. All right, are you guys still with me? Ron says ATRAM is the best way to invest my money. Okay. And sabi niya, he also does paper bag use. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So let's go to the last fund. All right. So this one is called the Global Infra Equity Feeder Fund. Now, one thing is for sure. I mean, there are a lot of uncertain things in life, diba? Sabi nga kanina ng isang viewer natin na uncertain talaga pag relationships, diba? Biglang gumanon. Okay, going back to the topic. One thing is for sure. And that is investing in infrastructure is only gonna go one way, and that's going up. So being a part of that, being part of a fund that actually promotes infrastructure or invests in infrastructure can be a meaningful thing for your portfolio and for the future of our planet. Diba? So how exactly can infrastructure help? Diba? It's about being able to bridge old transport utilities, the things that we use every day, the things that we need, to work with the new. So this type of fund seeks to achieve growth by investing in companies that are involved with these themes in mobility and transport, the smart cities communication, and also climate change. Right? So this is another way for us to do impact investing. So it heavily is invested into these sectors, yung mga industrials, utilities, and energy, which are obviously used to be able to provide solutions, sustainable solutions for our economy. Okay? So if you take a look at the different holdings, okay, tignan natin exactly ano ba yung companies being invested into this fund. So as mentioned earlier, it heavily invests into industrials, into utilities. So these are sectors of the economy that benefit and also have provided sustainable solutions. So a lot of this have been started in Europe. Diba? Most of the funds are actually invested in Europe, but also in America. So we have here an energy holding, we have Vinci, and these different funds basically help push or develop the infrastructure of our economy. So this is, I would say, it's a perfect fund for those who are moderately aggressive. Diba? Someone who's actually willing to take risks for greater potential return. So ang time frame po natin dito is medium to long term. So ang medium to long term, that would be 5 years and up. Okay. So again, it sets to achieve growth by investing into companies that are involved in infrastructure. So if this is a sector that you're very much interested in, you might want to take a look at this fund. Okay, so those are the funds that we wanted to introduce to you guys because again, there are lots of different funds available on Seedbox. Okay, now the question is, ayun, I was about to talk about this website. Exactly, how can you invest in these funds? How can you have access or how can you buy into these funds or UITFs? Now, you can invest through Seedbox. Now, I know some of you are currently on G Invest. I believe some of you are also in the G Invest community. The funds there are quite limited. So if you want to be able to expand your portfolio, you want to be able to explore different funds with different objectives, I highly suggest you go to the Seedbox website and check them out. Kasi mas madami talagang options doon. Now, the question is, how much ba ang kailangan? Okay, how much do you need to start? Ano nga ba ang minimum investment capital? You can start for as low as 1,000 pesos. 1,000 pesos. Yung pang Shopee nyo, pwede na gawin. You can already easily invest into global funds with this capital. So that's the advantage that the platform and ATRAM has given to us is that we get exposure to these funds even with a smaller capital, even for as low as 1,000 pesos. But if you want to stick to the local funds, you can start for as low as 50 pesos. Guys, so imagine that it doesn't actually for me it doesn't really matter already how much you want to start for as long as you actually start. For as long as you start making money work for you. Now, let me end with this quote, okay, by Theodore Roosevelt. He says to do what you can with what you've got where you are. So we all have a lot of financial goals, diba? We all have different goals that we want to hit. But let's face reality. Challenges are bound to happen. Diba? We may not have enough capital yet, our knowledge may be limited, diba? Or not being able to find the means to do it. Or maybe perhaps you don't have the network. Diba? You weren't born and raised into a family that taught you how to manage your finances. But what matters is how we work through these limitations. Diba? What you do now. Ano ba yung attitude nyo now? Or how do you correspond to your situation currently? And that's why I mentioned that even with a small capital, even as low as 50 pesos for local funds and 1,000 pesos for international funds, you can already start making your money work for you. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone else for tuning in. My mom is here. Hi, mommy. And I'll give the floor back to Therese. I believe you also have more prizes to give away.
Yes, of course. But first, I have a couple of questions that need to be answered, and I'm sure everyone would want to know. So first is, we have so many funds. You have mentioned a bunch of funds as well. So, what do you think is, the best fund to invest in? Like, I think that's a lot. That's what a lot of people are wondering right now. So for those here, please comment, what funds do you want to invest in? What have you already invested in? And, Antoinette, maybe you can give us all some guidance for us first timers.
Okay, so because the word best is relative. So what works for me may not work for you because for me to determine which fund you want to choose, there are three factors that you have to figure out. So number one, your time horizon. How long would you want to invest? Are you looking at something short term? Are you looking at something medium term? Or are you looking at something long term? Diba? Second factor to think of is your risk appetite. Iba-iba kasi tayo ng risk appetite. Some can be more aggressive, others can't afford to be more aggressive because let's say they're already in their retirement years. That's one thing to consider. And third is also your investment knowledge. Diba? How much do you know about a certain asset or how much do you know about the fund? And in line with the knowledge would also be your goals. Diba? What is your investment objective? When you determine those three, then you can decide which fund to go for. Personally, I have exposure to the more aggressive funds, such as the Global Equity Opportunity Feeder Fund, because again, I'm very young. And also, my objective is also to allocate more into sectors that promote sustainability because I already invest heavily in the Philippine stock market. I do have some bonds in my portfolio. But again, we have to remember what we call the principle of matching. So, kailangan nakamatch yung time frame mo sa investment instrument or sa fund of choice. That would be my answer. But again, if you do want to explore different funds, if you want to study it more, ATRAM actually has what we call a prospectus or a fund report. So sa mga fund reports na yun, you get to see yung commentary ng fund managers, why they decided to invest in those companies. And at the same time, you also get to see the performance of the funds throughout the year. So that's my suggestion for you.
Okay, right. That's really important. I love that the prospectus is so important to read. So thank you so much, Antoinette, for being here today. I know everyone has so many questions that they want to ask you. But I think some people from ATRAM will get to you and answer your questions. Don't worry, we won't forget you. We want to guide you all in your investment journey. I know Antoinette does, I do, so don't worry, we got you. Thank you so much, Antoinette, for being here. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
I love hearing all about it. Um, so yeah, thank you. Bye. But before that, guys, don't leave yet because I know may quiz pa tayo, may raffle pa tayo, madami pa tayo. So let's just have a little game and review, and I'm sure our keyboard warriors will be happy about this. So I'll be asking questions, and first to answer in our comment section will win a prize. So winners will be posted on our Viber community page, #AtramPH community. So don't forget to join our Viber community, or else you won't know if you won or not. Most important is that you join our Atram page community. Comment down below if you have Seedbox open, if you have atram.com.ph open, if you have Gcash open, because what is the point of having this webinar if you guys aren't going to invest? And what better way to do it, unless if you do it right now, we're all with you. So first question. Okay. Question number 1. Pooled funds refer to a set of money from individual investors combined together for investment purposes. True or false? So first person to answer in the comments down below. We'll see it. Is it true? Is it false? I hope you guys all know the correct answer. Okay, and the answer is true. Yes, that's what's pooled funds. Especially if you're a first-time investor, it's really important to build confidence, and you want to minimize your risk. So really investing in pooled funds is a great way to start. Our next question: UITFs are registered with and regulated by which government agency? So we have a couple in the financial industry. So which UITFs are registered with and regulated by which financial industry? There are a couple. Okay, yes, and the correct answer is VSP. Oh my gosh, that's actually a tough one. I didn't know that earlier on. But it's really important to know these things because VSP can be depends on their strategy of what they're doing with the regulations, and it's all really different. Okay, our last question is multiple choice. A fund that focuses on investing in Philippine companies that make a direct impact to the sustainable development and growth of the Philippine economy. So which kind of fund is that one? So if you're passionate about a certain field, which is sustainable development, you can actually help the companies trying to pursue this journey. So yeah, I hope you all have Seedbox open right now, Gcash. If you don't know the answer, why don't you talk to me, and you can talk about what funds you like the most. Ooh, hi Elizabeth from Hong Kong. And the answer is A, ATRAM Philippine Sustainable Development and Growth Fund. And those are our 3 multiple choice questions for today. So don't forget to join our Viber community, #ATRAMPH community, and then we'll announce the winners there. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. We'll draw 4 lucky winners who will receive The first one will receive a Bluetooth speaker. The second one will receive a umbrella. And the last two, the best one, sobrang, no, nakakaingit talaga, is seed box credits, who will really jumpstart your journey. You guys are really lucky. I wish I had seed box credits. I hope you also have seed box open right now. So I'll give everyone 20 more seconds, to scan, register here. Oh, here pala. Somewhere. Because, it might be your lucky night. So we'll put your names in a wheel and then we'll raffle everyone off. Um, yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot. I know I'm just really inspired by Antoinette's journey. It's really one of a kind. How she got to where she is today is truly incredible. Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm so proud of all of you here, especially because it's really important to start your financial journey. Ooh, okay. Ooh, name number one, Angel. See Angel Lapore? Angel. Hey Angel. Yes, you have a Bluetooth speaker. I love that. Everyone needs a good speaker. Okay, our next question. Raffle. Oh, hey Angel, yes, that's you. Charmaine Fuentes, yes. Yes, girl, you got an umbrella. I love that. It's important. I wear somewhere. Okay lang yan. You always need an umbrella. Oh my god. And the next two. Oh my gosh. Oh, make sure all of you are in the Viber PH community. That's how we're gonna announce our winners and get your details, all of that shenanigans. Jeric Malikdang. Ooh. Hey. Nice. Seed box credits. Oh my god. You're lucky. I love that. Yes. It's so important to, be on Seedbox. I hope all of you have atram.com.ph below. Please tell me, like, what funds are you looking most forward to investing? I know I really love the sustainable development one. That's really nice. Ooh, and our last one, Angelica Chu. Yes. Oh my God. Congrats. Congrats to all of them. Thank you so, 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 so much for joining us. I hope you get to join the hashtag ATRAM community. It's super important. Yeah, there you go. Congrats to all our winners. Please visit our Viber community group, and our team will contact you through the contact details you provided on how to claim your prize. So don't forget, that's the only way you'll claim your prize. So you have to join. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow our official social media pages to keep you on the loop on the latest announcements. So scan the QR code found on your screen. Lots of QR codes here. And we really hope to see you guys next time. It is never too early or too late to start investing, right? The best time to invest is now. Investing ensures that you'll always have enough for the things that you need and things that are most important to you. Of course, gives you the freedom to achieve your dreams and goals to help you take charge of your future. So thank you so much for joining us this wonderful evening. I hope you're going to invest right after this. Bye, guys. Thank you.